Good morning, kids. Happy Sunday to you. Thanks for coming back to watch another version of Make a Joyful Noise. I'd like to start out this week, this Sunday, with a song that everyone knows. We had a couple of our special friends who celebrated their birthdays this week. First of all, Claire Navikas had a birthday on March the 3rd, and I think that Claire turned 3 years old. I'm pretty sure about that. On March the 5th, our friend Jackson Riddle turned 6 years old. I can hardly believe that. So let's all of us right now, in your own places, sing happy birthday first to Claire and then happy birthday to Jackson. We'll do the song 2 times, once for Claire, once for Jackson. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Claire. Happy birthday to you. And now for Jackson. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jackson. Happy birthday to you. Now, let's do happy birthday one more time, and let's add some cha-cha-chas this time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Claire and Jackson. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for helping me with that, kids. Okay, kids, the last time we were together for Make a Joyful Noise, we sang a prayer that was called, "Oh Lord, Hear My Prayer." And you heard it if you and your family watched the Ash Wednesday service. You heard Mr. Mockley sing this song. It's a great song for us just to have. So I thought that we'd try to do this as a little prayer each time we begin our time together. It goes like this. Listen. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. When I call, answer me. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Come and listen to me. Words are, "Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. When I call, answer me. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Come and listen to me." Try it with me. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. When I call, answer me. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. Come and listen to me. Okay, kids, the next song I'd like to do with you is a song that we did the last time called Fishers of Men. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this song is because I believe some of you received in the mail a box that you made into a fish, and you're going to fill that fish with a lot of change and bring that back to the church sometime around Easter to hand it in to use as a great hour of sharing. And Pastor Sarah is going to talk to you a little bit more about that. But this song, Fishers of Men, is perfect to go with our fish boxes. Here we are. I will make you fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. If you follow me. If you follow me. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. Hi, kids. Again, this is a new song for us. And it's called Come Now, You Blessed, Eat at My Table. And I think you understand that the table is the Lord's table. When we take communion, that's called the Lord's table. And this week, on Sunday, March the 7th, which is today, we will celebrate communion at our regular church service. And this is one of the hymns that will be sung. It's not too hard of a hymn for you to learn, at least part of it. So that's why I thought we would do it right now. I'll sing the whole thing for you, and then we'll do it in chunks like we do sometimes. Here you go. Come now, you blessed, eat at my table, said Jesus Christ to the righteous above. When I was hungry, thirsty, and homeless, sick and in prison, you showed me your love. I'll sing a little bit of it and you sing it after me. Here we go. Come now, you blessed, eat at my table. You do that much. Next part is, said Jesus Christ to the righteous above. You do that. Now, let's take both those two parts that we just did and add those together. It will sound like this. Come now, you blessed, eat at my table, said Jesus Christ to the righteous above. Next part goes like this. When I was hungry, thirsty, and homeless, you do that. Last part is, sick and in prison, you showed me your love. You try it. So that last big chunk sounds like this. When I was hungry, thirsty, and homeless, sick and in prison, you showed me your love. Okay, now let's see if we can do the whole thing, put the whole thing together. Here we go. Come now, you blessed, eat at my table, said Jesus Christ to the righteous above. When I was hungry, thirsty, and homeless, sick and in prison, you showed me your love. Okay, kids, here's another new song. And I'm just going to sing this for you, and then we'll talk about it some more next time and learn it some more. This is a song that's called a round or a cannon. Now, a cannon you might think is something that you shoot with a cannonball at like a warfield or Gettysburg or something like that. But this kind of a canon or a round is a song that you sing, and you can make harmony with it by having a different group of people start the same song at a different time, and it sounds great together. Maybe in school some of you have done this. A really common round is row, row, row your boat. Maybe some of you have done that with this song, but this is a song that you can do this with. I actually would like to do this with the grown-up people's choir whenever we get back together again to singing in person. And so I thought it would be kind of cool if we learned it, and then when you hear the grown-ups sing it, you will know it too. It's called What Does the Lord Require of You? And here's what the whole thing sounds like. What does the Lord require of you? What does the Lord require of you? Now that's the first part of the song. The second part of the song is real simple. It goes like this. Justice, kindness, walk humbly with your God. The third part goes like that, like this. To seek justice and have kindness and walk humbly with your God. So the whole thing would sound like this when you do the whole thing together. What does the Lord require of you? What does the Lord require of you? Justice, kindness, walk humbly with your God. To seek justice and love kindness and walk humbly with your God. Okay, the last song that I'd like to do with you today is the song about the 12 disciples. And remember, I talked to you about how the 12 disciples were very important to Jesus around the time right before his crucifixion and during Holy Week. So it's fun for us to learn all of their names. And this song teaches you all of their names. So here it is again. There were 12 disciples Jesus called to help him. Simon, Peter, Andrew, James, his brother John, Philip, Thomas, Matthew, James the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon, Judas, and Bartholomew. He has called us to. He has called us to. We are his disciples. I am one and you. He has called us to. He has called us to. We are his disciples. We his work must do.
Hey friends, I'm here in the church sanctuary today and I'm thinking about all of you. We sent some mail out to you last week and you may have gotten it by now. It's these little fish came to you in the mail. If you didn't get one, please let our church office know and we'll make sure to send you one right away. But I wanted to tell you a story about this little fish. I don't know if you were aware, but she has a name and her name is Gracie. And Gracie lives in the ocean, and she has a lot of friends. And so I wanted to tell you a story about her and her friends today. It starts like this. Gracie and her friends were bored. Seemed like every day was just like every other day. They woke up and they did the same things over and over again. They played the same games with the same people. In the past, they'd gone out to the Big Red Reef and they had met so many new friends. But now everyone was busy. And so Gracie and her old friends were feeling a little cranky because there was nothing new to see or do. All right, said Gracie. I'm going to take charge. I've created a new game. Everyone has, by the time I count to 100, to find one new object on the coral reef and bring it back to me. Maybe we can create something new with everything that we find. Wow, that does sound different, said Angelfish, Gracie's best friend, who was always willing to support her in her plans. Well, it sounds better than complaining about how bored we are, said Benji Butterflyfish with a sigh. When do we start? Asked his sister Belinda. Right now, she said, in 3, 2, 1. And then she started to count. And the fish began to scatter. Gus Grouper went into a cave on the other side of the branch coral colony, and he knew that the smaller fish would be too scared to go in there. Benji and Belinda stayed together, and they headed towards where the crabs lived, as they would often find objects and use them to build forts and to mark their territories. Angelfish headed to her garden, hoping to find a new underwater plant. And Ephraim Eel slithered in and out of the coral colony to the other side, hoping to find something new. Gracie, meanwhile, kept counting. 98, 99, 100. And the fish began to return with the things that they had found. Gus had found a pretty rock with shiny silver sheets of mica on it. Benji and Belinda had brought back a beautiful scallop shell that they had found near where the crabs lived. Angie contributed a seed that was unlike anything she had ever seen before and wondered what would grow from it. These are all beautiful, said Gracie, but I'm not sure what we can make with a rock, a shell, and a seed. Then Ephraim arrived, and he was excited. I have found the most beautiful and wonderful thing of all on the other side of the reef, he said, but it's too big to bring to you. You all have to come with me and see. So all the fish swam together to the other side of the reef, and what they saw was a large object made of twine that was tied and knotted together so that it almost made a carpet on the sandy bottom of the sea. Let's all take a strand of this and pull it in different places and pull it out so that we can see how large it is, said Gracie. So all of them took a piece of twine and they pulled the large object so that it was stretched in all directions. It was much bigger than Gus the Grouper, who was the biggest fish of all of them. I wonder what we could do with this, said Benji as he gripped the twine in his mouth. Let's make it go up and down, said Belinda. And so the fish lifted their parts of the object up and down and created small waves that some of the nearby creatures enjoyed trying to ride, almost like they were surfing. Let me try, said Gracie. And she reached for her portion of the twine and felt a wave carry her along in the water. Each fish took a turn as the others continued to hold the twine. They were having a great time when suddenly they heard a voice from one of their classmates saying, "Hey guys, we're going to be late for school. We better hurry." The fish dropped the twine that they were holding and it gently settled on some sun coral. And they hurried on to their school where the old codfish was just ending a lesson on the ecosystem of the coral reef. And so, my students, he said, we're all linked together within the ecosystem of the coral reef, and everything we do affects those around us, said old codfish. Gracie and her friends tried to sneak in without being seen, but old codfish was a wise fish, and he was not fooled. I see you there, Gracie, and Gus and Ephraim, and Angelfish, and Benji, and Belinda. Perhaps you could share with the class why you were late this morning. We found something new today, said Gracie. We were playing with it, and I guess we lost track of time. Well, let's go see this new thing, said the old codfish. Perhaps that will allow us to see what happens when something new enters an ecosystem. The whole class was excited about the prospect of a field trip, and they headed out to the reef. They showed old codfish and the others the large object they had found with excitement. Oh, said old codfish, this is a fishing net. It must have fallen off one of the fishing boats headed back to port. It's an object that can be dangerous to some sea creatures when it's used in a certain way. But right now, it's a danger to this sun coral colony. Let's all take a piece of it and pull it off of them together and put it in a safe place on the ocean floor. So each fish took a piece of the net in their mouths and they stretched it out to its full size. And once they had taken it off the coral, they swam with it until they were over a bare spot in the ocean bottom, and they dropped the net. As it settled on the ocean floor, old codfish looked at the net and said, Gracie, I think you and your friends have found the perfect object to go with my lesson. It's all connected by the twines and the knots that you see. And it took all of us working together to keep it safe and to protect the coral as well. Let's all say a prayer to the God of the seas for bringing us together today and showing us that we are all connected through our care for one another. And so they prayed together. And as Gracie thought back on her day, she smiled because it hadn't been a boring day after all. And she had learned something new about her world. Friends, as you continue to feed your fish, let us think about the ways that we can help one another and the ways that Gracie, this fish, helps us to help the world. Amen.